Imagine if I tell you that a machine has been developed that can challenge fuel technologies like diesel, petrol, and even hydrogen. Would you believe it? This time, Cummins has taken this big step. Yes, the same Cummins on which the world of trucks and heavy vehicles has been relying for years. Now they have introduced such an engine, looking at which it seems as if tomorrow has appeared in front of us today. This engine is not an ordinary machine, but it has the technology hidden in it that has the power to compete with fuels like diesel, petrol, CNG, and even hydrogen. Its biggest feature is that it is more powerful than ever. But at the same time, it is so clean and environment-friendly that even climate activists have started calling it a game changer. Now, the question arises, is this really a revolution or just a new style of show-off? The company prepared it very quietly. Neither any glimpse was shown, nor any information came out. And suddenly, this engine was in front of everyone. Its launch has created such a stir in the market that people are forced to think, is the future of EV really as sure as we thought? Or has Cummins shaken everyone's foundation? Friends, we will reveal this secret in this video. So before moving forward, subscribe to the channel so that you can be the first to see such fresh and explosive news. Before knowing about this new engine that is shaking the market, it is important to understand who this company is and why its name is considered a symbol of trust and power all over the world today. The story of Cummins starts from a very small beginning. Imagine, a company that started from a small place has become so big today that its name is taken at the top in making engines for the world's most powerful trucks and heavy vehicles. Cummins was started in 1919 in Columbus, a small town in the U.S. state of Indiana. At that time, engine technology was not that developed, and people had very limited options. The company's founder, Cummins, was a simple but very passionate mechanic. He sat in his garage and thought, why not make an engine that could power not only cars or small vehicles, but also heavy trucks and machines? This dream gradually became a reality, and Cummins' diesel engine was born. In the beginning, this company was very small. In the early days, people did not even recognize Cummins. His engines seemed expensive, and diesel was not considered a reliable fuel at that time. But Cummins did not give up. In 1929, he traveled from New York to Los Angeles with a car powered by his own engine. This journey was about 3,400 miles, and it showed everyone that diesel engines are not only reliable, but can also run for a long time without interruption. From here, the name of Cummins slowly started becoming famous. After this, the company continuously made new engines. During the Second World War, Cummins also supplied engines to the U.S. Army, which strengthened its identity. After the war, when the transport and trucking industry started growing rapidly, the name of Cummins became the guarantee of the trust that every fleet operator and driver was looking for. By the 1960s and 70s, Cummins started selling its engines not only in America, but all over the world. This company established its hold even in Asia, Europe, and the Middle East, especially in heavy trucks, construction machines, mining equipment, and buses. Cummins engines became known for power and long-lasting performance. Today the situation is such that as soon as the name of Cummins comes, the word trust comes first in people's mind. For decades, truck drivers have been saying that if the vehicle has a Cummins engine, then the journey is worry-free. It is this trust that has taken this company from a small beginning to one of the world's largest engine companies today. But Cummins not only gave strength and confidence, but also learned to survive in the market by adopting changing technology from time to time. When questions were raised on diesel engines that they spread pollution, even then, Cummins started working on clean diesel technology first. When the world started moving towards gas and CNG, Cummins launched its engines there too. And now, when it is the era of EV and hydrogen, Cummins is not behind. The biggest secret of this company is that it never made the mistake of getting stuck on one technology. Rather, it adapted its engines according to every era. This is the reason why this more than 100-year-old company is still the heartbeat of the market. Cummins X15N Engine Reveal. Now, let's come to the engine that has created a stir in the entire market. Cummins kept this project a secret for months. No leaks, no teasers, only silence. Everyone thought that perhaps the company would also be slowly moving towards EV and the era of diesel engines is over. But suddenly, Cummins introduced the X15N engine and surprised the whole world. This is not an ordinary engine, but it has been fitted with technology that can change the face of the truck and heavy vehicle industry in the coming times. So what is so special about this X15N engine? First of all, its name itself says a lot about it. X means extra power and extra efficiency, and N means natural gas. Yes, this engine is specially designed to run on natural gas like CNG and LNG. Now imagine, when the world is struggling with pollution and climate change, an engine that runs on clean fuel and yet powers heavy vehicles like trucks can prove to be a game-changer. The biggest feature of X15N is that it is both green and clean. This means that it has very low carbon emissions, i.e., pollution. Cummins has installed such combustion technology in it that very little smoke and harmful gases are emitted when the gas is burnt. Generally, people think that engines running on clean fuel are weak in power, but Cummins has broken this myth. X15N engine not only pollutes less, but its power and performance are equal to diesel engines, and in many cases better than diesel engines. The second big feature is its reliability. The most important thing for trucks and long-distance transport is reliability. If the vehicle stops on the way, there will be loss, and time will also be wasted. Cummins has developed this engine after millions of miles of testing, so that operators can be sure that this engine will run in all conditions. Be it summer, winter, or high mountain roads, X15N fits everywhere. Advanced fuel system technology has been used in this engine. It has an electronic control unit, ECU, which monitors the engine performance every moment. This ECU decides how much fuel will go inside and how it will burn so that more mileage is obtained and power is not reduced. This smart technology makes it different from other engines. Another thing that makes it special is its compatibility. The X15N engine is not limited to natural gas only, but it has been designed in such a way that in the future it can also run on hydrogen blends, i.e., a mixture of gas and hydrogen. This means that this engine is future-ready. When the era of hydrogen comes tomorrow, there will be no need to change this engine. With just minor changes, it will also work on hydrogen. Now, let's talk about its size and power. The X15N engine is of the 15-liter category. That is, it is made for heavy trucks and buses. This engine gives power of about 400 to 500 horsepower, which is enough for any long journey. Not only this, its torque, i.e. pulling power, is also excellent, due to which loaded vehicles can easily climb steep slopes. Apart from this, Cummins has also provided an after-treatment system with it, so that whatever little harmful gases are emitted, they are cleaned before they come out. This is the reason why it is being called the cleanest and greenest engine till date. Another big advantage of X15N is its operating cost. Natural gas is cheaper than diesel. This means that truck operators will now get more profit. This engine can prove to be a great deal for long-distance trucking companies, which have to travel thousands of kilometers every day. Now imagine an engine that is clean, powerful, reliable, and also cheap. Won't it become a game-changer for the industry in the coming times? This is the reason why the X15N was welcomed by both green energy supporters and the transport industry as soon as it was launched. Power and performance. Cummins X15N engine. Friends, when it comes to trucks and heavy vehicles, the first question that arises is this engine powerful? Because unlike small cars, trucks and heavy vehicles are counted among those vehicles whose job is not just to run, but to carry tons of goods and travel thousands of kilometers. This is the reason why the biggest requirement in their engine is power, torque, and reliable performance. And this is where Cummins' new X15N engine shows its power. First of all, let's talk about its horsepower. The X15N engine is capable of giving power ranging from 400 to 500 horsepower. Now you think this is the same range that is found in big diesel engines. That is, in terms of power, this engine is no less than any diesel engine. Not only this, its design has been made in such a way that there is no drop in power even after traveling a long distance continuously. It is often seen in older engines that as the engine heats up or runs on a long journey, its performance decreases. But the X15N has been specially designed in such a way that it keeps giving consistent power for lakhs of kilometers. Now, let's come to its torque. Torque means the pulling power of the engine. For truck drivers and fleet operators, torque is more important than horsepower, because torque determines how easily a heavy vehicle will climb a hill, how much load it will be able to pull, and whether it will keep running continuously without getting tired. The torque of Cummins X15N goes up to about 1/850 lb-ft. This means that whether your truck is fully loaded or you have to climb high mountain roads, this engine will pull it easily. Talking about the driving experience, Cummins has made this engine very smooth. In the old times, people considered the gas-powered engine to be weak and jerky. But the X15N has been fitted with advanced combustion technology and electronic control system, which makes the engine run very smoothly from start to highway speed. The driver does not feel that the vehicle is struggling even under heavy load. Rather, the vehicle picks up quickly and runs for a long time without interruption. Mileage, i.e. ED. Fuel consumption is also a big factor, especially in the trucking industry, where fuel cost is the biggest part of the total cost. Natural gas is already cheaper than diesel, and when such a powerful engine runs on it, the profit of fleet operators doubles. The X15N engine is designed in such a way that it travels more distance in less gas. Testing has found that this engine gives mileage equal to or even better than diesel engines. That is, long journey at less cost. Apart from this, another thing is important for drivers traveling long distances: comfort. When there is no need to change gears frequently while driving the truck, and the engine gives a stable performance at every speed, the driver's experience becomes very easy. The power delivery of the X15N is such that it gives good torque even at low RPM and maintains power even at high RPM. This simply means that the driver will not have to work hard and the ride will be comfortable. Another big advantage of this engine is its durability. The engine in trucks and buses needs to be not only powerful, but also durable, because these vehicles have to run for hours every day. Cummins has built the X15N with the same reliability for which the company has been known for the last 100 years. It has been tested for millions of miles and in different weather conditions, from hot desert heat to snowy roads. And this engine gives excellent performance everywhere. This engine can prove to be a special boon for long-haul transport companies, because powerful torque, smooth driving, and low fuel consumption, these three things directly reduce operating costs. And when costs are low, profits increase. This is the reason why big operators in the trucking industry are already getting attracted to this engine. The power of clean technology and eco-friendly features. In today's world, just having a powerful engine is not enough. Now people ask, how clean is this engine? That is, how much damage is it causing to our environment? The smoke and pollution coming out of vehicles has become the biggest problem for the whole world. In such a situation, Cummins X15N engine has emerged as a new hope. It has been fitted with technology that challenges many fuel technologies like petrol, diesel, CNG, LNG, and even hydrogen. X15N has been specially designed for natural gas, i.e. CNG and LNG. Now you think, when the whole world is looking for clean fuel to replace petrol and diesel, then how big a change can an engine that runs on green fuel and is still as powerful bring? While petrol and diesel engines emit more smoke and fill the atmosphere with gases like carbon dioxide, the emission of X15N engine is very low. It has been fitted with such combustion technology that burns the fuel completely and emits minimum pollution. The most important thing is that X15N is not just ready for today, but also for tomorrow. Cummins has made it in such a way that it can also run on clean fuel like hydrogen in future. That means if tomorrow the world shifts to hydrogen, then there will be no need to change this engine completely. With just a few small changes, it will also work on the same fuel. This feature has given it the status of a future-ready engine. Now let's talk about green energy supporters. Often when new technology comes, green energy people doubt, is it really clean, or is it just a marketing ploy? But this did not happen in the case of X15N. Many environmental organizations have openly praised it. They say that if heavy trucks and buses start running on this engine, there will be a huge reduction in pollution. And this is no small achievement, because the trucking industry contributes a lot to the total pollution of the world. Now, let's come to its eco-friendly features. The harmful elements emitted from the X15N engine, such as nitrogen oxide and particulate matter, are very less. These are the same gases and dust particles that make the air dirty and harm people's health. This used to be the biggest problem in old diesel engines. But X15N has a special after-treatment system installed, which filters out these harmful elements and releases clean air outside. This engine also reduces carbon emissions, CO2, to a great extent. Scientists believe that this carbon dioxide is the biggest cause of global warming and climate change. If engines like Cummins X15N are adopted on a large scale, then the carbon footprint of the transport sector can be reduced significantly. This is the reason why it is being called the technology of the future in terms of environment. Apart from this, a big advantage of engines running on natural gas is that they also reduce noise. Heavy trucks and buses often make a lot of noise on the roads, which not only disturbs the drivers, but also affects the surrounding environment. But the operation of the X15N engine is so smooth and quiet that it is also being called clean and quiet technology. For long-distance transport companies, this engine is not only eco-friendly, but also economically beneficial, because natural gas is cheaper than petrol and diesel. This means that on one hand, companies will contribute to saving the environment, and on the other hand, they will also be able to reduce their expenses. This combination makes it very attractive in the market. The Cummins X15N engine is unmatched not only in power and performance, but also in clean and green technology. It has the capability to compete with petrol, diesel, CNG, LNG, and even hydrogen. This is why it is being called the real game changer of the future transport industry. Impact on the global market. Cummins X15N engine. Whenever a new technology comes, its impact is not limited to just one country or one company. It impacts the entire global market. The Cummins X15N engine is also one such technology. This is not just a new engine, but a thought that can take the world of trucks and logistics on a new path. And when Cummins, one of the oldest and most trusted companies in the world, takes such a step, its impact increases manifold. First of all, let's talk about America. America is considered the largest hub of trucks and long-haul transport. There are thousands of kilometers of highways and millions of trucks run on them every day. The annual turnover of the American trucking industry is worth trillions of dollars. Now, if engines like X15N start coming there will be huge savings in fuel cost, and pollution will also reduce. This is the reason why American fleet operators are already showing interest in adopting this engine. Now let's come to Europe. Europe is already moving rapidly towards green energy and clean transport. Many countries have decided to completely stop diesel trucks in the coming years. There is pressure on companies to adopt green engines. In such an environment, X15N fits very well in the European market, because this engine is not only clean, but is also no less than any diesel engine in power and performance. This means that European companies get benefits according to their rules and also an edge in the market. Talking about Asia, the picture here is a little different. The trucking industry is very big in India, China, and Southeast Asia, but cost is the biggest issue here. Operators always think about which engine will reduce expenses and increase profits. Since the X15N engine runs on natural gas, and gas is cheaper than petrol and diesel, it can prove to be a jackpot for the Asian market. In India, the network of CNG and LNG is already growing rapidly. In such a situation, this engine of Cummins can quickly gain popularity here. China's market is also quite large. China wants to become the world leader in green energy. The government there is promoting both EVs and hydrogen. But EV trucking is still expensive, and the hydrogen infrastructure is not fully ready. In such a situation, an engine like the X15N can work as a bridge technology. That is, until the whole world shifts to EV and hydrogen, this engine running on natural gas will remain the best option. It will also have a big impact in the Middle East and Africa. These countries have abundance of both oil and gas. Natural gas is easily available there, so it will be easy and cheap for operators to run the X15N engine. Especially in countries like Africa, where the transport network is growing rapidly, this engine can promote green and clean transport from the very beginning. Another big aspect of the impact on the global market is competition. Companies like Tesla, BYD, and Nikola are working on EV trucks and hydrogen trucks. They had claimed that after diesel, the future of transport is only EV and hydrogen. But with the arrival of Cummins X15N, this claim has been shaken a bit, because now the market has an engine which is clean, reliable, and cheap. This means that EV and hydrogen will have to advance their technology more rapidly. Otherwise, X15N will slow them down. Global investors are also keeping an eye on this change, because trucking and logistics are not just the business of vehicles, but the backbone of the entire economy. If the fuel cost decreases and transport becomes clean, then it will also affect other industries. Goods will reach cheaper, companies' profits will increase, and green credits will also be available. That is, the impact of X15N will not be limited to trucking, but will affect the entire global economy. It is clear that the Cummins X15N engine has a huge impact on the global market. From America to Asia, Europe to Africa, this engine can hold its ground everywhere. And when an engine fits in so many parts of the world, it won't be wrong to say that it is truly a global game changer. Changes in the truck and logistics industry. The biggest impact of the Cummins X15N engine is going to be on the truck and logistics industry. Think about it. This is the same industry that transports tons of goods from one place to another every day. Be it food items, factory raw material, or machinery for big projects. Everything runs on trucks. Now, if the engine of trucks is clean and also reduces costs, then it is no less than a boon for the entire industry. For fleet operators, that is, companies that run hundreds and thousands of trucks, fuel cost is the biggest expense. If we calculate the amount of diesel consumed by a truck in a day, then crores of rupees are spent annually on fuel alone. In such a situation, an engine like the X15N, which runs on natural gas and is cheaper than diesel, directly saves the pockets of operators. This means that companies will now be able to transport more goods in the same amount of money or do the same work at a lower cost. This engine is even more special for long-distance transport trucks, because the biggest challenge over long distances is mileage and reliability. The Cummins X15N engine delivers on both fronts. It not only gives the same mileage as a diesel engine, but its performance is so reliable that operators can take it on the highway without any worry. For companies that transport goods thousands of kilometers every day, reduced operating costs mean more profit and a more competitive market. Apart from this, another big feature of trucks running on natural gas is low maintenance costs. Carbon often accumulates in diesel engines, which requires frequent cleaning of the engine and increases the cost of repairs. But this problem is less in a clean engine like the X15N. That means savings not only on fuel cost, but also on servicing and maintenance. This is the reason why many big transport companies have already started showing interest in this engine. Matching with government and green policies. Now let's talk about governments. Governments around the world are promoting clean energy and green policies today. Every country wants to reduce pollution, reduce carbon emissions, and fight climate change. For this, governments are making new schemes and rules. At some places, there is strictness on diesel trucks, while at other places, tax exemption is being given to those who adopt green fuel. In such an environment, the Cummins X15N engine fits perfectly. Because this engine pollutes much less than diesel and brings a big reduction in carbon emissions. Vehicles that will run on X15N will get full benefit of green policies, meaning operators will also get incentives from the government, and their image will also be that of a green company. In countries like Europe and America, preparations are already underway to ban diesel trucks. The rules there say that in the coming times, only clean fuel or zero-emission vehicles will be able to run. In such a situation, the companies that will quickly adopt engines like X15N will not only follow these rules, but will also be ahead in the future race. In countries like India and Asia, governments are now emphasizing on CNG and LNG. CNG vehicles have already become common in cities. Now, it is the turn of trucks and long-distance transport, and the X15N engine is the strongest option for this transition. Apart from this, engines like X15N can also make an important contribution to international policies promoting green energy like Paris Climate Agreement and net zero targets. If the transport sector adopts it on a large scale, then carbon emissions will be reduced by millions of tons. This is why experts are saying, this engine is not just a technology, but a policy fit. It is clear that the Cummins X15N engine will not only change the face of the truck and logistics industry, but will also be in sync with green policies around the world. Companies will save money, governments will reduce pollution, and the world will move one step closer to a green future. Now, the biggest question is, how long will this Cummins X15N engine rule the market? Will it become the backbone of the truck and logistics industry for the next 10-20 years? Or will technologies like EVs and hydrogen gradually replace it? The truth is that the whole world is currently going through a transition period. That is, everyone knows that the future will be green and clean, but the road to reach there is still long. EV trucks are becoming very popular, but their biggest problem is the battery. No battery has yet been made for long-distance trucks that can run thousands of kilometers without stopping and can also be charged in minutes. Hydrogen trucks have also arrived, but their infrastructure, i.e., fuel stations, are still very limited. In such a situation, the question arises whether the world will jump directly to EV and hydrogen, or will there be some other step in between? This is where an engine like Cummins X15N makes its place. This engine can work as a transition technology. That is, until EV and hydrogen are fully ready, the trucking industry will have an option that is both green and reliable. And since this engine is future-ready, that is, hydrogen mixed fuel can also be used in it, it can easily survive in the market for the next 10 to 20 years. Many experts believe that it will take at least 1 or 2 decades to fully adopt EV and hydrogen trucks. In the meantime, engines like X15N will become the first choice of those countries and companies where it is necessary to keep costs low and adopt clean technology according to the rules. That means X15N is a strong player not only today, but also tomorrow. Now the question is to you, will Cummins X15N really change the face of transport? Will it rule for the next 20 years, or will EV and hydrogen leave it behind? This is a turning point where the future of the industry will be decided. Imagine, if millions of trucks start running on this engine, how much pollution will be reduced, how much cost will be saved, and how fast the world will move towards a green future. But at the same time, it is also true that the pressure of EV and hydrogen is also increasing. So the coming time is going to be very exciting. If you want to be the first to get such new technologies and big updates of the auto industry, then subscribe to the channel. Because here we tell you those things which others hide.